The railway line serving the city of Tauranga is the East Coast Main Trunk. It starts in Hamilton and runs for a distance of 181 kilometres to KiwiRail, though there are no direct services between KiwiRail and the Waikato. The line has been freight only since November 2001, when the Kaimai Express was shut down, though excursion trains did run occasionally until as late as 2012. Tauranga itself is roughly 94 kilometres from Hamilton, and is home to the largest export port in New Zealand. Consequently, the ECMT is very busy, and if you come round this way to film trains, here's a short list of places I highly recommend going to, as they make for pretty decent vantage points. First we have the overbridge in Otumoitai, located at the start of Levers Road, which happens to be the only road access to the suburb of Matua. If you stand on the overbridge's footpath, you'll get a good angle looking down on the railway. When there isn't too much shrubbery in the way, you can also see where a small freight yard used to be, as indicated by the old cattle loading bank. As for what services run through here, you'll see container trains going to or coming from Auckland, Hamilton and Palmerston North, e.g. MP3, 321/322, 390 and MP10, as well as a small number of services from Mount Maunganui to Kinleith or Hamilton, such as 482 and 334. My second recommendation is the Maxwell's Road Bridge, located just round the corner from the container sidings at Sulphur Point. The best way to get here is by walking or driving to Maxwell's Road itself, and there's a car park and little beach just in front of the bridge. The trains going through here are the same as what I mentioned earlier, so I think it's best I don't repeat myself. But I will add that this is near the end/start of the container train's run, so they usually run quite slowly across this bridge. At the number 3 or Henry spot, we have the Strand, which is not to be confused with the Strand station in Auckland. This spot is in downtown Tauranga and not even 2 minutes walk from the bus station or Willow Street. More often than not, there's a lot of families that come here to go on the playground, and sometimes they get in the way of your shot, and some of them don't even bother to get out of your way, so just bear that in mind when you're filming trains here yourself. Come to think of it, I would suggest going for a vantage point where there's pretty much no chance of anyone getting in your way. As the aforementioned container trains don't go past Sulphur Point, the only trains you'll see passing the Strand are the ones to and from Kinleith, as well as the Genesis Energy coal trains, though these aren't running at the time of uploading, and the afternoon train 334 to Hamilton. Lastly, we have a spot that I call Bayfair Junction, though this isn't the official name. It's at the southern end of the Mount Maunganui branch, and trains to Kinleith and KiwiRail pass through here. Of course, there's also train 334 and the occasional works train. As for how to get to this spot, you can either walk down the footpath from the nearby Matapihi Road crossing or from the reserve on Russley Drive. Aside from the relatively infrequent rail activity, I still think it's worth visiting this spot if you're in the area. Before we end the video, I'd like to mention a bonus spot in the form of Tōtara Street South in Mount Maunganui. This crossing is on a short industrial branch which runs down from the main rail yard, and the only rail activity on this branch is the DSG or DH shunting locomotives with ZHC wagons that have come off the KiwiRail trains. In previous experience, I've usually seen this shunt run soon after train 362 has arrived from KiwiRail, which is typically between 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll find this advice useful in the future.